Hi, this is a commentary example. While I change my difficulty, I'm gonna do my intro. So I'd start and I'd toss it over to you by saying your name. We can either go alphabetical or however, I don't super care, frankly. We can talk about it more, but I'm going to do it alphabetically in this video. So, hello everyone, welcome back to Awesome Games Done Quick 2023 Online. My name is Shovelclaws, and welcome to Cult of the Lamb. Before we talk about the game at all, I'm going to introduce myself. I use its pronouns. I've been speedrunning for about 2 years now, and I'm a big Sonic fan. Honestly, I kind of feel like number 2 is because of number 3, but so be it. Thanks, Sonic, I guess. With that out of the way, Cult of the Lamb is a genre-blending mix of town builder and dungeon crawler. There are 2 segments of this game. One is a cult management segment, where you take care of your cultists, because you build a cult in the name of a demon overlord who has granted you demonic powers. These cult segments are not a big deal in the speedrun, so we'll go over them when we see them. However, we also have dungeon crawler segments where we control the lamb and have to hack and slash through enemies, collect upgrades, collect resources to use in those cult segments. So, game blends those two, well, pretty together. Anyways, I have 2 commentators with me. I don't know why I started the run. I have 2 commentators with me. First and foremost is Designator, blah 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 blah, and then sorry, and then I have Metric. So let me know if you guys want to be called something else. I don't super care. But time will start as we select new save. The category we're playing is any % unrestricted, so our only goal is to get to the end credits as fast as possible, and we can use any method to do so. So there are a bunch of fun glitches we'll be doing in this game. So, we're going to start time whenever I select a new save. So in 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so this first cutscene of just a bunch of text we can't actually skip without mashing escape. So we're going to mash escape there. And then we have a minute-long cutscene of this lamb walking to their death, because the 4 bishops of the old faith want us dead. This is because the one who waits, a demonic overlord who has been imprisoned, is said to have his successor be a lamb. And so we're the last lamb remaining, and as we kneel down for the chopping block, we get sent to purgatory. Maybe the bishops should have thought their plan out a little bit more, because killing us just sends us straight to the demonic overlord they were scared of, the one who waits. The one who waits here is chained up, and he recruits us as his successor to take the red crown, this little floating crown. We also have a cute little animated cutscene that we're gonna skip by alt-tabbing. That is the only way you can skip it, because, I don't know, sorry console players, that's it. But we take control of the lamb now with the red crown on our head, and we go straight to the next room. You don't have to kill any of those guys. And here we're going to attempt a skip called Retau Skip. Unfortunately missing it. You have to get a good entrance and exit, and if you do, and roll to the side to avoid the cutscene trigger, you can skip that little dialogue with Retau, our tutorial man. And now we just have a bunch of combat. Most of these enemies are one-hit shot, one-kill because of the difficulty we're playing at. Before we start the game, we load up a save file. That save file is set to easy already, and the game doesn't change our difficulty whenever we load back in, so we just go through the combat there with our little sword. And here we're going to attempt something similar to Retau Skip, where we try to roll out of the cutscene trigger there, fortunately also missing it. That skips the fighting sequence here with all these cultists. And also skips this cutscene of us picking up this first follower. Followers are essential in this game, and we will find out why that is in a little bit. But we're going to roll to the last room of the tutorial first dungeon, where Retau wishes us on our way to our cult. So that's the first dungeon completed. And since we didn't take any damage, we get a bunch of bonus resources, so 50% bonus there. And here the game prompts us with our difficulty. And we talk to Ratau again. Ratau will tell us, go indoctrinate this guy into your cult, which we will do. All of our followers, whenever we pick them up on dungeon runs, will appear on this little circle. So we're gonna send them off to chop some trees, and then Ratau speaks to us again and tasks us with collecting some lumber and some stone. So we're gonna collect 5 lumber, 2 stone, and then also 5 berries by just clearing out 2 bushes. This is because we'll need them immediately after collecting the wood and stone. So we're gonna clear up the top there for a building later on, and after getting the lumber, we're gonna build our cooking fire. And here, I'm gonna... Oh, yes, okay, I got it. There, if you cook that meal too fast, you can actually have to recollect the berries. Anyways, there, we're gonna roll to the left to... basically, whenever a cutscene plays, it tries to get you into a certain position, and if you're not in that position when the cutscene starts, the game gets confused and you can move. That's what happened there during that pan up to our cult exit. And here, we're gonna unlock Darkwood. So, this is the first dungeon. There are 4 dungeons in the game, and Darkwood is our first. The majority of Darkwood is our tutorial, so here we get 4 hearts because of our difficulty. 4 hearts for easy. And then we get our first weapon, the sword. The sword is your middle-of-the-road average damage, average speed. We're gonna go to the left and avoid the room with a bunch of stars. You might be forced to go into one, in which case I'll explain it there, but you don't need to know about that yet. Combat is very simple in this game. You get a weapon, you kill all the enemies in a room before moving on. The room will not unlock. So similar to games like Binding of Isaac, except we don't have any bombs to speed things up. Here we're going to go to a wood room. The game, after this, will ask us to get, I believe, 15 lumber and 5 stone. Additionally, we need 30 gold, so we're going to try to avoid damage, as you saw earlier, we get extra resources if we don't take any damage during a dungeon run, so we're going to try to do that best we can. We have our wood, we will hopefully get our stone, and we'll have our gold at the end of this dungeon run. Here we meet Leshy, the first of 4 bishops of the Old Faith. It's our task to kill all 4, and they reside in the 4 dungeons. And so it's, that's our goal, is to just kill them. And this little stone pathway will lead us straight to our first mini-boss, Amdusius. Amdusius is a very easy one. We have this little cutscene of Leshy and this cultist talking before he gets turned into Amdusius, this weirdo monster. He will lunge towards us, and we're going to stand still because he can't actually hit us. And there, we defeated him in just 2 cycles. Amdusius will talk to us some as we convert him to a follower. All mini-bosses will be turned into followers, and there we get our stone, and here we get our gold. So we're all set for the next cult segment. And each dungeon needs to be ran through 4 times because this door won't open until the 4th dungeon run. Which means this Darkwood one is now over, and we'll be coming back to Darkwood 3 times. 3 more times, rather. So, Darkwood 1 is out. And as we go into the cult, Ratau will talk to us again, make us indoctrinate Amdusius here. I'm gonna just do that real fast. And followers have a few different actions. They can collect resources, or at the shrine, they can pray. We're building the shrine now. That's what we needed the 30 gold for. Fun fact, if you don't have that 30 gold as you enter into this segment, the game just soft locks. It's really awkward. So here we're going to indoctrinate our 3rd follower that Ratau gives us. We didn't actually save this guy, but he will worship at the cult, and here we'll speed him up with I forget what that action is called. It's called something. I'll figure it out one day. And we unlock the temple by our follower praying, so we're going to build that up top. This saves a good amount of time over the run as opposed to building it lower, just reduces pathing. And then as we finish up here, we're going to roll straight up into the temple, which plays this cutscene. Typically it plays in the overworld and takes you back to the center of the cult. We're gonna do it in the temple because that's less pathing. And here we're going to conduct our first and only sermon. Sermons bring all of your followers together for basically what is a church service. And it uses devotion as some unit to unlock cult or dungeon run upgrades. So there we gain half a heart permanently because of the sermon there. And we're going to go into our second Darkwood run. We're at 3 followers, and here in Darkwood 2, we grab our axe. The axe trades speed for damage. And that's the case with most things, so the axe swings a bit slower, but ultimately deals more damage. And here, Leshy talks to us again, and we'll spawn a few waves of enemies, and so we have to just clear through them as fast as we can. We're going to be using a tech here called animation cancel. I'm sure you've heard of it before if you've ever watched a speedrun. We can roll in between swings of our weapons to cancel animations and attack faster. Very useful for the axe. It makes it just as fast as any other weapon. And here Ratau talks to us and gives us a curse, the fireball. Curses are a secondary magic type of weapon, or attack rather, that use fervor. Fervor drops whenever you kill an enemy or open a chest. And here we're going to go to the follower node. The follower room here can take 3 forms, either a fight like this, a simple room where you talk to a follower, or a decision room where you have to make the correct decision in order to gain the follower. We got a fight room, so it's gonna be a few waves of enemies, and then we can save our follower. And here we're going to go into our next dungeon run. Dungeons have a few effects they can have. So for this dungeon, or for this crusade floor, we have enemies take half health, but we take double damage. And there we get our only necessary item from this dungeon run, the commandment stones. This is used later on in the next cult segment for a doctrine, which is completely useless to us, so that's the only time you'll see it. So that's the only time you'll ever see me pick up a commandment stone out of free will. And here, just go through the combat rules. So the axe is pretty good for taking care of groups of enemies. And here the mini-boss is Veilfire. He will jump around some and then shoot a bunch of fireballs. So we're gonna just take him out real fast. We can take damage there because it doesn't actually matter if we do. And then we're going to pick up just any of the rewards. The only rewards we want to avoid are scrolls, because scrolls have a little cute animation whenever we pick them up. And now we're at 5 followers. I'm going to keep track of my followers, name them after each dungeon run, because we need to. We need 20 followers at the end of the game. So here, the one who waits will just talk to us real fast. Nothing important, so we're going to mash through it. And then in this cult segment, we're going to unlock our first ritual. Like I said, doctrines earlier are mostly useless to us, but the game forces us to. Darkwood is our tutorial segment, so it teaches us all the things that we need to know for playing the game. None of this really matters to us. God, I wish we had a way to skip it. But I'm going to unlock the bonfire ritual. And we need 25 bones for it. Everyone knows you need bones to start a fire, so we're going to go collect those in our next dungeon. Alright. So, Darkwood has a few enemies that we can talk about real fast. First, however, we have to pick up our next 2 weapons. We have the dagger, it's the fastest weapon in the game, but also the weakest. And then a tentacle curse, it's just one big straight line. Fortunately, getting caught on that rock there, so killing this enemy is going to be slow. But the enemies in Darkwood are all pretty simple. They're all weird wood creatures and cultists. cultists are pretty simple. Big robe, they have those robes on them. And then the wooded creatures, you've probably seen them all, and their attack patterns are fairly obvious. They're all pretty simple, nothing too special in Darkwood yet. In this room, we talk to Leshy, Hecate, and Kalamar. They are three of the 4 archbishops. Or, not archbishops, they're not archbishops, just bishops. So, they spawn a bunch of enemies. And there we go, just speeding through it. You may think because it's the fastest weapon that the dagger is the best weapon, but that is certainly not the case. It's actually kind of one of the worst weapons, because most enemies take multiple hits to kill. Additionally, here as we go through this dungeon run, we get a Crusade floor skip. These are super, super important to get throughout the run. This is because Crusade floors, the floors where you kill a bunch of enemies in multiple rooms, are very slow. So if we get good enough RNG, of course, in a roguelike game, you have to get good RNG to go fast, we can completely skip those Crusade floors. We're going to just first use our curse there to take out that guy. And we're going to do these saying here, we don't need any curse charges because of Barbados. Barbados is a very simple boss. He will go underground, he'll pop back up, and then he'll shoot some attack. There, it was his poison attack, or I guess green attack. It's not really poison damage. And then here he'll be final blow. We didn't even get to see his other attack. And then we will rescue him. So that is 7 followers now. Then collect all the rewards. We have to collect the rewards because the door to the door won't open. And as we leave Darkwood 3, we get 28 bones. That's all we needed. This is where stuff starts to get fun. This is where some of the glitches start. So, talking to the one who waits once again, they'll give us the ability to read our followers' minds. This is useless, we won't be using it. It's also kind of useless in our casual playthrough. It's a cool touch if you're more looking for an Animal Crossing type vibe in the cult, but I never used it. I remember being very excited about it too, unfortunately. But here we're going to conduct a ritual, the bonfire. And then after this, we're going to indoctrinate every single one of our followers, except for one, for our next glitch. Actually, no, we're gonna play it safe and indoctrinate every follower as Ratau talks to us for the final time in the run. He teaches us how to give followers items to raise their loyalty, and then he goes to his lonely shack, which unlocks the overworld map. The circle right there as we enter the cult. And we're going to indoctrinate all of our followers. You may be wondering why. Well, it's for a trick coming up. We need 4 followers, so this is good donation time, or if there's anything else to talk about, I don't really know. I guess I can mention why we downpatch. The version of the game we're playing on is 1.0.11. Oh wait, no, talk about that. I'm going to talk about that during the next dungeon run, because it's not really relevant right now. So, alright, and we're going to go into the... Wait, hold on. Okay, well, since we're here, we're gonna open the door to Aurora, but I forgot something in our cult. Trying to think what it was. I know I forgot something, but I can't remember what it was. The pressure of being in front of so many people is getting to me. All I know is... Wait, no, I don't... No, I totally didn't forget anything. Okay, the jig's up. We can open up the next dungeon early. We have 7 followers, and you may be wondering how. This is because the game, during this little cutscene of the shrine... So I think I can open agdq. Nice. So during the cutscene of opening the door, all of our followers gather around the crown. These followers count as followers in the code for some reason. I'm not really sure why. I'm sure it means something. But if we roll out of the out of the hub world and back in, we can actually interrupt their animation of them leaving. and this means that they stay. Additionally, we just teleported to one of the late game areas of the run. This is because we just can. The game lets you use the travel node, the travel button, if you just mouse over where it would be. There's a few frames where it has to load in, and so we can just interact with it. It's very funny. And now we're in Midas's cave. Midas is obsessed with gold, so we're going to turn 4 of our followers into gold for 4 talisman pieces. You'll see why this is in a little bit, but they are important. We also lowered our frame rate to 30 FPS for a trick that we'll see if I get. Basically, you can skip the dialogue after Midas if you mash fast enough. There you go. There's one instance. We'll see if we do it again. We still get the talisman piece despite not interacting with him. You'll see that on the last one, or I guess you'll see it here because we didn't hit the third one, or the third attempt. So we have 3 pieces despite him giving us the right piece. And here we're going to sacrifice our 4th follower. We're going to turn back up the FPS because, oh my god, how could you ever watch anything in 30 FPS? And I'm realizing that my game is way too loud, so I'm going to turn that down real fast. Time loss, mad. And Midas gives us the final talisman piece. So, we're going to go back to our cult, because with the full talisman, we need 4 pieces to form a full one, we can unlock the most broken item in the game. So, we're going to return to our temple to unlock said item. So, in the crown menu, we have a bunch of different fleeces. These fleeces we spend a talisman to get, and we're going to unlock the golden fleece. You might have read its ability. We can now deal up to a very, very large amount of damage, as damage we deal will increase with every enemy killed. Unfortunately, that multiplier will reset if we take damage, and we also take double damage, so it's a big risk-reward system. However, it turns this game into, unironically, one of the hardest runs I've ever done, because we are going to entirely avoid taking damage best we can. So, you can see now, as we kill enemies, our damage modifier stacks up. Additionally, we're in our final Darkwood run. So, by the end of this Darkwood, Lushy will be dead. We're gonna stand out of the way of the stakes there, because, again, if we take damage, doesn't matter from what, but if we take damage, it resets our multiplier. And we're going to get our final wave of enemies here. We're going to use our curse there to just explode all the enemies in the circle. And unfortunately we did take damage from the stakes, so apparently we took 2 hits. I'm not sure how we took the second one, but okay. And here we got another Crusade floor skip, so we're gonna go around the Crusade floors. We're gonna stop by a shop, and then Ratu, not to be confused with Ratau, 2 different people, will be in that heart fountain, then another follower fountain. So, here we can talk about why we play on the version that we play. We play on version 1.0.11. Correct me on that, I might be wrong, but we play on 1.0.11 because the Golden Fleece has been nerfed twice. It is the only item in the game that has been nerfed at all. This is because when the game first released, the Golden Fleece was completely uncapped, so we can get basically infinite damage multiplier as long as we, take the time to grind for it. Of course, we're not going to do that. We want to go fast. But it got nerfed to where now it has a cap, and also it increases slower. Here, we talk to the Fisherman, which unlocks Pilgrim's Passage. Pilgrim's Passage is used in the No Major Glitches version of the run to collect the talisman. So you do play the fishing minigame in the No Major Glitches run, which makes it the best category. And then we have the Leshy fight. Leshy is a very simple boss, surprisingly, because we'll sacrifice 5 cultists and turn it into this weirdo monster. I'm not really sure what he's meant to be. I guess he's like a forest spirit, or a tree monster. I don't know. I didn't design him, but I'm going to deal less than optimal damage. Ow. Especially considering the damage we took there. Then we're going to not die, preferably. Okay, we're just going to spam him down because Leshy, as you saw, will spawn a bunch of enemies. Uh-oh, there we go. Alright, got down to half a heart, but that's okay because we didn't die. That's what's important. After killing Leshy, we'll get the Heart of a Heretic. What this does is allow us to unlock another ability, an ability that is also very useful. We'll get there when we get there. And here we're going to open up the chest and collect the scroll for the Leshy trophy. The game won't open up, won't allow us to return to our cult until we collect that. Really doesn't want us to miss out on the trophy there. And then we've defeated Leshy. Leshy is now dead. Crab Rave. We're at 4 followers because we collected one during that, and we sacrificed 4 followers. And the one who waits congratulates us on our defeat of Leshy. And then we have another one of those text cutscenes that we can only skip by mashing escape before we head back into our cult. So, we're going to use this Heart of a Heretic to unlock an ability called Omnipresence. Omnipresence allows us to leave a dungeon run before we hit the final door. So we're going to use this to, from now on, skip all rewards gathering because that is slow. We can just leave, and the story flags will all be correct as long as we defeat the mini-boss. So we totally don't need to interact with anything. Additionally, here we're going to buy this follower from Hellob. Hellob is a kind of a freak. He eats people, and he sells people for profit. So we're gonna spend some gold, buy one more follower. We are at 5 as we enter Silk Cradle. Silk Cradle is supposed to be the last area you go, but since we unlocked all the dungeons, we play the game in reverse. This is because it does actually save time, and we'll talk more about why when we get to the areas that it saves time at. Otherwise, Silk Cradle is the spider area. We have a bunch of spiders. It's also the most annoying area in the game because it has a bunch of annoying enemy types. But before we talk about the enemies, we're going to talk about the gauntlets. Gauntlets are also known as the claws, are the weapon that definitely benefits most from animation canceling. They are a combo-based weapon, and so you can deal a lot of damage by just canceling the third hit over and over again. Actually, we can talk some about why the cutscene skips and stuff work. But I'm not qualified for that, so I'm going to leave it for you guys. And we have another Crusade floor skip. This time, just a follower room. That is wonderful news. And again, we're going to play as safe as possible here because the Golden Fleece. The range on the third attack of the gauntlets is kind of crazy. But we have more enemy types. Most of them are at least kind of similar. We have the cultists again, but stronger. We have spiders that do some pretty similar stuff. The only new one is the red spiders. They go up and then bounce back down. It is simple enough. So we're gonna go through. Another thing exclusive to Silk Cradle is the cocoons. They are very annoying, because they will spawn a bunch of spiders only after everything else is defeated. So you can see some here. Thankfully, these spiders are pretty weak, so we can typically take care of them, but sometimes they won't spawn immediately, so you can waste a lot of time just waiting for the spiders to spawn, and it's really annoying. Here, we're going to talk to Shamura. Shamura is the bishop of Silk Cradle, and he will force us to kill a follower. All 4 bishops do something special, with the exception of Leshy, because again, he's the tutorial man. So, Focalor is a pretty simple boss. He will pounce at us, and we won't get to see anything else because we killed him so fast. That is the power of the Golden Fleece. We killed him in 5 hits. After collecting Focalor as a follower, which we now have 7 followers again, we're going to escape using Omnipresence. This saves a bunch of time. Wait. Oh no, I only went through 3 rooms, right? Okay, I got terrified because the ending there. Yeah, we're gonna escape early, avoid collecting all the rewards. We're also going to buy another follower from Helob, so we're at 8 followers. Actually, I lied, we're at 7 because I forgot that Shimura killed one of them. Rest in peace, Veilfire. Alright. This is where the run does kind of get a bit repetitive, I suppose, would be the word. Because we're going to just do the same thing over and over again. We're going to go through a dungeon, and as fast as we can, and then we're going to go through the overworld cult, and then we're going to do it all over again. But this is because we are out of the tutorial, so there's nothing really else to do in the cult. We're going to completely ignore almost all cult management. Also, that last room was a bit chaotic. But there we unlock Midas's cave, you know, for real this time. And these big cultists are very annoying. What they will do is swing at you or fire a bunch of fireballs, and they'll alternate between those. We're going to go back down again. We're going to avoid the room with a bunch of stars over it. We haven't been forced to go through one yet, so definitely worth. And these white priests will just teleport around and give enemies who have lost health extra health. So we're going to focus on killing them first. And just avoid that guy's attacks. And I'm going to try my best to remain at full health at all times. This is mostly because we don't want to die. Dying is bad. So no Crusade floor skip, which... not a huge deal at this point. Is slower, but RNG will be RNG, so no point in crying over spilled milk. So we're gonna go to another follower room and pick up another follower. That was a very good usage of my curse. We also have these cultists that throw bombs that are not super bad to go against. Thankfully, our dagger is making pretty quick work. As opposed to, you know, in Darkwood. Thankfully, the Golden Fleece can make up for, is the phrase I'm looking for some of the dagger's bad damage. This Crusade floor makes us lose red hearts, but we gain diseased hearts. Hopefully you won't see what those do, but what they do is if you get attacked, or if you take damage, they will damage all of the enemies in the room you're currently in. But hopefully you won't see that, because we won't take damage. Right, guys? Smiley face. And at this point, you guys could definitely throw in some stuff you want to talk about, because this is where it slows down. And of course, you can also handle anything that hasn't been brought up yet, or that I have brought up. You can totally just freeform it. I don't super care, but, you know, I prefer if you guys also talk. In this room, Shimura will destroy all the bones and then make us bow, or we can refuse to bow, but it doesn't really make a difference. He'll spawn a bunch of enemy waves either way. And here we meet the first of the fireball spiders, the orange guys. Just shoot a bunch of fireballs, and they're very annoying, because you can totally just get caught off guard. Like, that wasn't them, but it was the big spider. Which, unfortunate, but I'm gonna kill the fireball spider first, because they are going to make fighting the 2 remaining enemies. And we're going to carry on. We also have these caterpillar centipede guys. They just I don't know, shoot out a bunch of spikes out of their butt. We're gonna take the axe here. The axe, definitely worth the time spent gathering it. Deals way more damage, and of course we can animation cancel, so it isn't as slow as you may think. But onto the next crusade floor. Ah, rolled right into that fireball, unfortunate. I'm going to wait around for some hearts after clearing out a few rounds at this point. Then the cocoons won't drop their spiders. Cool. Epic. That is a glitch, almost exclusive to some of the early versions of the game. They did eventually fix that, but, you know, is what it is. This enemy has a fireball ticking down over his head. Certain enemies have special effects, such as the shooting out of fireballs, and also you can have enemies there. So we're going to actually, I was gonna let that spawn the extra enemies, because, as I said, they spawn extra enemies, but I realized it's not worth it. Not worth the waiting, but here we have Vepar. He is unironically probably the hardest mini-boss in the whole game, because he spawns a bunch of enemies, and if you do that, if you take damage, this fight can be very slow. Also, he shoots out a bunch of poison. Poison isn't bad at all, however, and this is where I would probably mention my whole donate $100 if I take poison damage. And there goes my time save. Lamau. Man, that's rough. But after this room, we're going to just escape right out of the room. And we are at 9 followers. And again, this is where it slows down, because we don't have much to do. Also, wait, is this still Cradle 3? This is still Cradle 3. Cool. I was gonna say, I realized I marked things wrong, but I was wrong. Great. Here is Shrummy. Shrummy is an opponent for Knucklebones, an in-universe dice game that you can play at the Lonely Shack. Of course, we won't see it, but there are speedrun categories for Knucklebones, so if you're interested in dice games, I'm just saying. You can certainly run that category. It is quite fun. We have a dagger and a fireball, so killing enemies is not going to go super fast yet. I will say we can also animation cancel on the dagger's final hits. It is more powerful, but it's not particularly great, so I'm not going to spend time doing it. I'm going to not spend a lot of time doing it anyways. That hurts. Okay, so this is a good time to talk about why hitboxes suck in this game, because they, for the most part, are very inconsistent. You can get hit by attacks that have completely gone away, so. And also can get hit while rolling, because, of course, the game wouldn't be good without it, right? We're just going to fireball right now. Then head on down. We still haven't seen a tarot card room, which I think is pretty humorous. I'm gonna wait for him to finish attack up and help him out. Nice. That was alright. We don't want the tarot card there. No crusade floor skip, but we do have a follower shop here. We can get these during dungeon runs, so we're gonna buy one. That brings us up to 10 followers. And then we're going to go to the follower room here, and unfortunately it's another fight, so as long as we don't take damage, we'll be fine, hopefully. I'm going to collect that half heart. Surprisingly, the half heart we get with that salmon earlier is actually really helpful, because taking double damage means we take a full heart whenever we take damage. And, we're gonna save the follower here. Also, I'm going to point out something that just happened that you might have missed. The enemies that shoot arrows, we can actually reflect those arrows back with a simple attack. And that can lead to them just exploding. I'm going to clear out the fireballs there. Then going to take out the priest there who heals people. We're going to not have that happen, hopefully. Going to avoid that enemy's attacks. And again, at this point, we can totally fill in air with interesting things that you guys have. Pull out the commentary guidelines. We're gonna go back down because, in general, tarot card rooms don't lead to any other rooms. That's why we've been skipping them this whole time. Get that damage multiplier before Chimera interrupts us and kills all the enemies in that room. Here we're going to lose 2 followers because, of course, Chimera just can't get enough murder. But after killing them, we're on our way. Thankfully, we have a pretty high multiplier right now, so we're going to not jinx it by mentioning that. We're going to actually swap out our weapon for an axe again, because, man, I do not like the dagger. This will be much faster. Here we're going to see if we get any hearts, which we do. Awesome. Those chest rooms can be a pretty wide range of qualities. We can get literally nothing, or we can get everything. Also, I'm going to point out the spiders that shoot poison. Again, poison, very easy to dodge, so they are not an issue. I'm going to actually... Nah, I'm going to keep what I have. I much prefer the fireball over the tentacles. And here we have Horus. Horus is pretty simple to... similar to Bacalor, except he also shoots poison and fireballs. You didn't even get to see the fireballs because, again, Golden Fleece is very, very good. Especially with a 640% multiplier, so... Just gonna escape out of the room now. And, we're at 8 followers again. Or, actually, we're at 9. I forgot to count Horus there. So we're gonna roll right into our next area. Also, shout out to the hearts remaining at the top of the screen. I'm not sure why they do that. They're supposed to go away, but, you know, they don't. Because this game's well programmed. I'm gonna not make that joke during the run, actually, now that I think about it. And here, we're in Silk Cradle for the final time, and we're going to hopefully get a Crusade floor skip. I don't think we did. But we're going to pick up our 2 weapons. Weapons from here on out, except for one more instance in the next dungeon, are completely randomized. Also, I just realized I didn't indoctrinate any followers, so I should do that. But again, the gauntlets here are pretty good at just clearing out rooms of enemies. Going to just use our curse there. An Ichor bomb. Ichor is basically our version of poison. Enemies have actual poison, but we have Ichor that deals damage, area damage over time. I shouldn't have gone up. No, I should have, because that was correct. And we have some cocoons. We're gonna take care of these guys first. And then just roll over to those. We don't have any Crusade floor skips, so what we're gonna do is go to both follower areas to pick up some followers. So that's Tin. This guy's old, you can tell by the white robes, so hopefully he doesn't die on us of old age. Followers do die in this game. And Helab thanks us for our purchase. I believe next time we go to a follower shop, we're going to encounter a unlock of a tarot cards. I guess I can tackle what tarot cards actually are. Tarot cards are basically upgrades from the for the current dungeon run. Think of them like relics from Isaac. So we avoid them because, frankly, there aren't any good ones that are good enough for what we have unlocked at the very start of the game. There are some that are okay, but we just have to get lucky in those cases, and it's not worth taking the luck, or it's not worth trying our luck. It is always possible that we get some anyways. Also, shout out to the bomb. The bomb killed the enemies for us, which very useful. And in general, I'm gonna speak some about room generation. The map layout won't go too far up, down, left, or right. So if we keep going left, 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 we're going to run out of areas that the game can spawn rooms in. In general, it's a pretty relaxed layout. Nothing is super hard. Sometimes there are 50-50s, maybe even 25, 33s. 33, 33, 33s, but in general, stuff isn't too bad to just kind of guess on. Most of it is guesswork. And to our left is a weapon room. We can swap out the weapon we have currently with another one. And also we finally encounter a black priest. These guys will just spawn enemies on us, and those enemies can literally like jump scare us and just attack us immediately out of their spawn animation, so I'm going to hopefully stay out of range of those attacks. But, of course, another cocoon that doesn't open immediately. How annoying. Just kidding, how fun, smiley face. And again, with the cocoons. This is what I was talking about earlier. These guys just don't seem to want to come out. Which, it's okay, you can take your time, but also, what the heck, guys, I'm trying to go fast here. See, that was a gay joke. And, we have a pretty high multiplier, so we're gonna do everything we can to avoid losing it. There we go. Because I will say, Chimera is actually not one of the easiest enemies, or bosses to take care of. So we're just going to go straight back down. I probably should have known that going up there wouldn't amount to anything, but it is what it is. We all make wrong judgment calls. Alright, cocoon, please. There we go. And the door to Chimera has opened. Chimera, again, not a super bad boss, for the most part. Whenever the fight starts, what we're going to do is immediately dive down. That's because Chimera will almost instantly just dive bomb us with a quick swipe. So after this cutscene, we're gonna hold straight down right, and we're going to hope. So after he turns into the abomination of a spider monster that he has, going to immediately just roll down. And Chimera has now taken enough damage where he enters his second phase, and before he can even escape, we're going to take him out. That's a second Heart of a Heretic down. We do have to collect that. We can't just skip it with Omnipresence because the chains here won't break, and we need those to break in order to free the one who waits. I guess I haven't actually spoke on that any. Our goal is to free the one who waits by killing all of the bishops. So, we have escaped out of Silk Cradle relatively unscathed, which is good. The one who waits will congratulate us once again, and for the third time this run, but not the third time, but not the last time, we have one of these text cutscenes that we're gonna just skip real fast. And we're going to roll into our next dungeon. Actually, what we're going to do is indoctrinate a follower, because you may have noticed on the right there, or in our follower account, we don't actually have any followers. So if you don't have any followers and you die, that death is permanent. You can reload the save file, but it won't be until the save file is the last time you had a follower, so that set us back quite a bit. Here in Anchor we get our final weapon of the 5, at least, the hammer. The hammer has a very large charge-up sequence, but is super powerful, so we're going to use that to our advantage. You can basically pre-aim enemies, well, just like that. And, that was the shortest crusade floor in Anchor Deep that I've ever had. Additionally, we got a crusade floor skip, so that's wonderful news. We're gonna run straight through here. But I suppose we can talk some more about some of the some of the unique rooms that the game has to offer in dungeon runs, rather. So we have shops. Shops can come in a wide range of qualities. So we have follower shops where Helab sells us someone, and we also have just resource shops where we can pick up some resources for our occult. Also, we swapped to the axe there because, wow, that was a super speedy, Anchor Deep one. Like, wow. Here we have Celios, the new boss here. We completely skipped talking to the bishop there, by the way. So, cool. And we're going to just take out Celios. Celios is one of the, similar to some of the enemies in Anchor Deep. So he just lunges forward with a bunch of spikes protruding out of his body, and then shoots some thorns and spawns some dudes. So, pretty simple boss. That was a super fast Anchor Deep one. What the actual heck? Wow. Okay. We completely skipped over one of the bishops talking to us because we just went so fast that the room that it didn't even have time to spawn. That can happen sometimes. It's wonderful. But we're at 12 followers now. And here we actually have a tarot card room. We have Canuck. Canuck will give us tarot cards. And again, we won't take any of them because tarot cards are slow. Additionally, here we have Clunko and Bop. These guys are other Knucklebones players. We unlock some throughout the entirety of the game, so we'll see them pop up every now and then. I was gonna try to snipe him, but accidentally missed, so we're just gonna take the minor time loss. Angry face. And hopefully kill him real fast. Alright. And another super short Crusade Floor room, and another Crusade Floor skip. That is wonderful news. So here, we also have a follower room. You may think follower rooms have to be like as slow as Crusade Floor rooms, but while that is somewhat true, they are certainly not as fast as some other rooms we can get. For the most part, they're equally beneficial. And also, they are certainly faster. Not as fast, but we do get followers. Again, we need 20 before the end of the run, so we're going to try to get followers when we can. Additionally, we have the shop here. This cat guy sells us all kinds of different things. We have decorations for our cult. This game has quite a robust decoration system, and also follower forms, which we haven't actually touched on at all. Oh, that's so unlucky. Rolled straight into it. Ow. Okay, I'm going to take care of that guy real fast. But follower forms are pretty simple. They're exactly what you might guess. Followers can take on many different animal types, and follower forms unlock those different some of the animal types. So you've seen them throughout the run, just picking up followers. Actually, you know what? I don't think this is a terrible time for a tarot card because I'm relatively low on health. So I'm going to take the attack rate increase. Why not? That is one of the useful ones. We also have health increases, which typically wouldn't be a big deal, but, you know, we are low on health, so I'm scared. Oh, what did we even get hit by? I think we got hit by an arrow, which is unfortunate, but of course it had to be right before the final room. We only have 2 hearts here, which kind of scares me, but hopefully Habarim will be not too bad. What he does is shoots out fireballs and then teleports around and spawns enemies, which thankfully we can, for some part, make up some of the lost damage. And I'm very scared here, so I'm going to take it a bit easy here. Gonna just play it safe a little bit. Oh my god, we just barely dodged that dude. Whew, alright. We made it through Habarim unscathed. So, very good. Whew, that was super dangerous. But we played risky, it paid off. We're at 14 followers with that follower room and Habarim in our gang now. In our cult, rather. It's not a gang. I should use the right terminology. So we're just gonna enter right back into Anchor Deep. This run has gone exceptionally well. So far, at least. Oh, we interacted with the grave. That's minor time loss. Mad. Makes us sit through this little dialogue box. It's some sort of lore is all I know. I am not the lore master, so I'm hoping some of you guys actually know it. And we can certainly talk about the game's story some, especially with how this game gets towards the end. To use an Echo Bomb. Echo Bombs don't deal a ton of damage, but still worth it sometimes to use it, especially if, you know, a lot of stuff is going on like there. Good curse usage is actually one of the biggest ways to save time in the run, so really need to get better at that. We skipped a crusade floor? I think. And here we have one of the first of our decision rooms. We're just gonna hold left and hope, because for the most part, followers will join us if we just tell them the thing on the left. So, and we're playing a super dangerous game right here, because the next 2 rooms are, rooms in the dungeon at least, are question mark rooms, which have a possibility of being boss refights. Question mark rooms tend to be just kind of wild card rooms, but they do have the chance of being a boss fight refight. And here we meet Limbo. Limbo is a merchant who lives in the Old Faith, I guess would be the name of this area, of the whole place. But he operates out of Smuggler's Sanctuary because he is not the most ethical of merchants. Here, I'm going to swap for the axe. I was hoping for a different curse, in all honesty, but we'll take an axe. Gauntlets are good, but I prefer the axe. And here we have a little dude named, I think Harrow is his name. Might need to check up on that. But he'll tell us some of the game's lore. Again, not my forte, so I'm going to avoid it. clean up real fast right there. Alright, we are full health. I didn't even realize. Alright, and here we go into the next mini-boss. We have Beelzebub. I honestly kind of forget what he does. Oh right, he just shoots a bunch of fireballs. Which, of course, no problem for us. We just hang out where he doesn't shoot fireballs. So, pretty fast anchor deep there. And just escape, and then go back to our flock. We're now at 16 followers, if I'm counting correctly. I don't know if I counted the one that we saved earlier. I believe I didn't, so... Abarim and the one we saved earlier makes 16, and for the most part, we don't need any more followers because, as long as I've counted correctly, we gain one at the end of almost every crusade floor, or dungeon run, rather. Also, I think we got a follower room skip there. I'm gonna have to make sure, but this is our last time in Anchor Deep. By the end of this run, Calamar will be dead, and Calamar is one of the hardest bosses. We're gonna reveal the map, actually. That's a fantastic tarot card to get there. We don't need to go up. I forget I just revealed the map, so I know exactly where to go. That's one of the few where, it's actually not too bad to get a tarot card. Just use our curse to take out that guy. And then immediately out of the room. Okay, we did not get a crusade floor skip, but we're still going to go... We're going to go this way. We're going to avoid the follower room. As I said before, if we go to a follower room again, we're going to run into Helob, and he's going to give us a tarot card that is utterly useless to us, so we're going to avoid it all we can. Just avoid all of the enemy hits there. And 144 hertz really makes a difference in this game, huh? Alright, that was good curse usage. Alright. This is a wonderful time for donations. As we go through this follower room. And of course, you guys are welcome to think up topics that could go later in the run. I couldn't think of too much. Des, you're the one who has talked to the devs, so I imagine you have plenty of stories from that. And Metric, whatever you want to talk about, I don't know. You might know game, how the game functions a little bit more than me. So, and additionally you have a better time, so I'm sure you can talk some about your experiences in the game. Make it fun. You did say you like interacting with the audience, so you can certainly do that as well. Dude, what is happening? I can't hit any of them. Alright, we're gonna roll into the next room, and okay, cool. Yeah, I didn't realize it was the last room we had. So, up next is Calamar. Calamar is unironically the hardest boss in the game. He's harder than the final boss if you take too much time, because Calamar has 4 arms in his final form. He's an octopus, so I would hope so. But each of these arms has a different weapon. One of the weapons turns the game into an actual bullet hell. The grenade in his lower right arm. If he goes to use it, we're going to just hope. Fortunately for us, he starts out this fight using the summoning staff, and we clean up real fast. That's wonderful, wonderful news. Collect the Heart of a Heretic, and then just immediately go to the next area. So, we only have one dungeon left. This dungeon is Aurora. Aurora is a kind of fall foresty type area with a lot of frogs. So, one who waits congratulates us on defeating Calamar, and we go off to... I said Aurora? I meant Anura. I meant Anura. Smiley face. So, the heart of a heretic is ours. Also, this guy is not sick, which is very funny, because typically we'd mention sickness here. But... alright. Also, I'm not going to risk the PB and fight the one who waits here. I'm going to do it afterwards, so I'm going to just, like, load a save, after I defeat him. Or after I, sacrifice myself, and then commentate that just so you guys can see what I'd say. Anyways, as I was saying, a bunch of frogs here. We're gonna go to the right. I feel a bit better about that. I also have some snails on the ground there. Snails are very funny because when the game released, they didn't spawn ever, and you need them for the snail follower form, so people couldn't 100% the game. Shout out to the devs who fixed that very fast. So, the devs have been great about updating this game, and they definitely deserve the Indie Game of the Year nomination, because this game is very good. For all my gripes as a speedrunner, I super enjoyed this game casually. Oh, that hurt. But yeah, I super enjoyed this game casually, so there's a reason I ran it, and it's because whenever I first got the game, I spent, I believe, 60 hours in the first week playing it. Also, fun fact about these skeleton enemies, they have the exact same attack patterns as the followers we fought in what it was, I can't remember where we fought the followers, for some reason, Silk Cradle, I remembered. And here is Hecate, and this is a perfect time to talk about why we play the game backwards. It's because the game will have cutscenes where we talk to multiple of the bishops, and if we defeat them before that, the cutscenes won't play at all. The game doesn't really know what to do. And here's Gusion. Gusion is a very simple boss. He'll jump up and down and then lay eggs, shout out, and also shoot fireballs, but thankfully we didn't get hit by them. So, I'm gonna just pick up Gusion real fast, and then teleport on home. So, we're at 18 followers now, if my counting is correct, at least. Hopefully it is. And here on Interanura 2, we're going to indoctrinate another follower. You might have noticed there, Hecate, the bishop of Anura, made one of our followers, the one follower we had, very, very hungry. He is now famined. What we're going to do is indoctrinate followers until we have someone who is not famined. This is because it will skip a big chunk of time in one of the next Anura segments. So I'm just gonna head straight on into Anura. So we have the green frog here. He's just like the others, except he spawns a bunch of flies, and these flies are like actually super annoying, so we're going to avoid them best we can. Otherwise, the enemy types are pretty simple. Frogs that jump. And that's about it. So here, Hecate will just talk to us and spawn a bunch of enemies. Alright. And that was a pretty good fight for me. And that well. And here we meet the mushroom people. Mushroom people belong to Sozo's Grotto, I believe. Spore Grotto, where a madman named Sozo wants mushrooms. In the no major glitches route, we also use Spore's Grotto to get talisman pieces by making him overdose on mushrooms, to where he dies. It's kind of morbid, and also we kill the mushroom people that we just met for mushrooms, because that is the fastest way of getting them. It was very funny routing out no major glitches, because, of course, we didn't know about any of the glitches when the game first came out, because people were looking for the best way to find mushrooms, and what do you know, the fastest way is to kill a bunch of mushroom people. Kind of morbid, because it's implied that they're one of the, some of the last of their kind. Thankfully enough, Spore's Grotto also has a few mushroom people as merchants, so more moral merchant work here today. This game's very morbid, but it's cute, so you know what? It gets the pass. It can be morbid as long as I can control a lamb that is very adorable. That was scary. I saw them both lunge at me with the full intent to murder me. And here we have Elagos. This guy is nothing special. He will fly at us, and, well, he'll actually do nothing because we'll kill him before he even gets a chance to. Never mind, guys. Apologies. What he typically does is he spawns a bunch of flies, you know, the ones that the small green frogs do, and then he'll fly towards us and shoot a bunch of fireballs, and then lunge towards us, but not really relevant if you kill him before he can even attack you, really, if you think about it. Alright. And you may be wondering, why don't we really take care of any of our followers? That is because on the easy difficulty, they kind of just take care of themselves. For example, the famine that got unleashed on us is already over, so... Okay, well, I expect that explosion not to kill, even though I probably should have. Did get a hammer here, so a bit unlucky, but... certainly fine, I guess. We also have these big toads now that, shoot. I didn't see the stars at the top. Unfortunate. I don't know why I'm attacking either. Oh no, we definitely could have skipped that room if I was fast enough. And there's the room where Hecate will famine the one follower we have. This skips a longer cutscene where he famines like a bunch of followers that we have in our cult. And also, sir, wait, I totally don't need to save this guy. I completely forgot we're already at 20. Might as well for the backup followers. And it is faster than going to the follower shop. But yeah, that cutscene is longer if we have a bunch of followers. Also, that's annoying. And it also, if we don't have any followers that he can famine, he will just spawn a bunch of enemy waves, so certainly faster than the other options to just have like one or two. Okay, what is happening here, bro? There we go. Okay. Hammer can be kind of difficult to fight with. It used to be my favorite weapon, but I'm kind of over it. I think it's a bit too slow, a bit too high skill for the hammer, which is a baby's weapon or whatever. I don't think that's actually true. Hammer takes a lot of skill to use, but man, I need to stop making edgy jokes when I'm out of material. This is a great time for donations. I didn't realize I had the explosion curse still. I would have definitely used that earlier on the Fool. And that's unfortunate. Can I get a different curse? I'm going to take the sword. You may think having 2 melee curses is bad. Personally, I don't really think so. I'm sure you two have disagreements over that, but I think they can make quick work of some pretty rough scenarios. And here we have Zephyr. He's also a simple boss. He'll jump up, deal area effect damage, and then spawn enemies. Again, doesn't even matter if you kill them faster than you can take damage. Or they can even throw out an attack. He's down. And we're getting near the end of the run here. At by my count, 22 followers. I'm sure people in chat have been keeping count better than I have. So, this is the final Anura, where we will fight Hecate. We were really close to getting a Crusade floor skip there, but unfortunately... This Anura has been pretty not great. It's been okay, but not getting any Crusade floor skips is pretty rough. And here we have our final Knucklebones opponents, Felinki. So, additionally we got a dagger, which, unfortunate, but happens, right? Here, Hecate will talk to us for one of the last times. Here, he'll spawn 2 toads. These 2 toads will show up again in the boss fight against Hecate. As long as we're fast enough, we can actually not see them again, but that is all up to circumstance. So, it's actually super important that we no damage this, so I'm gonna like hard focus on this area. Get the fervor there. I'm gonna go this way, I think. I didn't realize that was a fall. Ah, man, that's unfortunate. Skip the commandment zones. And go into the tarot card room. We're not going to pick up a tarot card. Can I give us a different weapon? Yes, let's go. So much better. Okay, maybe this is at least a... Okay, that's fine. Definitely should have skipped that. Okay. Oh boy, I'm scared now. Unfortunately, in follower fight rooms, we can't actually skip picking up the follower because the gate there is closed, so we do have to pick that guy up, unfortunately. But we're at 23 followers, by my count, so... we have more than enough, which I'll probably pick up extra followers during the run too. Just in case. I'm not going to pick up a different curse, I like this. Yes! Thank God that's the door. Alright, behind this door is Hecate. Hecate will transform into a big frog. What we're going to do during this fight is immediately roll up because Hecate has a very high chance of immediately jumping up and doing a big tongue attack. It's kind of weird, but he has multiple tongues and can shoot them out all over the place. That's what she said. And we're gonna hopefully avoid that by rolling up and reacting to the crosshair. So... we'll see. Yep. Nice. We got the phase skip and everything. So That was a wonderful Hecate fight. That should save some good time over my PB. And with that, all of the bishops are dead. Also, this is like really late into the run to mention this, but we should definitely bring up the incentive a lot if it isn't met. Even if it is, it's nice to thank people for getting the incentive met. But, you know, in general, if it's not met, bring it up. Bring it up. We want that to be met, right? Hopefully, at least. I want to fight the one who waits. So, personally. All right, we're gonna just rush through. We're going to use our fast forward time ability, plenty here, because the entire last bit of the run is indoctrinating followers. So, we're gonna set them all to just do whatever. It doesn't actually really matter to us, and god, that's annoying. That's also weird. Apparently, it's okay. Sometimes you can move during the indoctrination process, and it's weird. I don't get it. But hopefully no one else comes up to us with a quest, because we're mashing fast here, and would hate to activate anything that could kill the run. Because we haven't even unlocked some of the stuff in the cult. Typically, if you've played this game casually, you'll know this. There's a sickness meter. We have to clean up after our followers, which means cleaning up vomit and poop. Shout out to the weirdos during the game who ask you to feed them poop. That ability isn't even unlocked for us. So. I had 11 followers. Hopefully this old dude doesn't die. That'd be bad. Can you leave me alone, please? I hate old people because you can't give them jobs, and so it makes mashing through their bumps really weird. And you kind of just have to remember it, or else misplay them out. I'm not gonna indoctrinate everyone. I'm just gonna get up to what I need. And again, we need 20 followers. I wonder if you can indoctrinate 19. I wonder if you can indoctrinate 18. I'm gonna try that because, honestly, I don't super care if I have to come back. But I want to try that. I wanna try that out. So we're gonna get up to 18. Also, this is totally just donation time for the end of the run. Alright. Let's see. Let's hope. Here we have a little cutscene of the final door opening, the final chain breaking. So, here we're going to enter a place known as the Gateway. The Gateway is where we do the final ritual to free the one who waits. The one who waits has been waiting this whole time in chains. And, we're gonna... No, it doesn't work. It's so annoying. Sad. Oh well. It's fine. At the very least, I should still sub 20. Lamau. Damn it. I was hoping it would work. Well, that's fine. There we go. Alright, in the Gateway, we're going to do our final ritual, and this ritual is why we needed 20 followers. Also, this is a beefy RTA PB because my PC actually runs properly now. But here we're going to grab 2 weapons. The 2 weapons don't matter at all for me, because we aren't going to throw the PB away and fight. I don't want to. I feel like PBing tonight. Because it's been a while. So, here we meet the one who waits for the last time. He will talk to us. We'll summon all of our followers. Because we are preparing to sacrifice ourselves for the one who waits. So we're gonna just hold left and mash through all the text, except to be sacrificed, as the red crown returns to its original owner. The contract has been fulfilled, the one who waits is now free, and he murders us. He is going to take over the old faith, and time is coming up in 3, 2, 1, time. 1:19:25. Let's go. I'm gonna skip through all the end credits because I'm gonna show off the commentator boss. So that's a good PB. I'll take it. I win. I'm gonna load back in. We're gonna save our best times. And go to the one who waits again. So, because everyone met the incentive, what we're going to do is pick our favorite weapon. For this fight, I'm going to go the hammer. Additionally, we're going to take the sword curse, because the one who waits as a boss is honestly not too bad, but he does spam quite a few projectiles. So having a curse that blocks projectiles is pretty useful. Additionally, the hammer deals a lot of damage, and for the most part, everyone kind of stands still. So, as we approach the circle, originally in the run we would typically accept to be sacrificed, but here, since we are fighting the one who waits, he is mad that we've betrayed him. So he sicks his 2 followers on us, and these guys are pretty easy to take care of. Ball here will shoot out a bunch of different chains, spawn a few enemies, do a few swings of his little staff, and then once he's dead, we have a blue heart to pick up. I forget what they're actually called. Blessed hearts. And then here is aim. Aim is simple. He spawns shoots a bunch of fireballs, shoots a bunch of chains, and doesn't even matter what the rest he does. I think he also spawns enemies, but I'm not super sure on that because I haven't fought this boss very much. But he also gives us a heart. The one who waits then gets Engi, and we defeat him. He will teleport around the map, shoot a bunch of fireballs. Again, this is where the curse we have would come in handy. Also, you may notice we don't have the golden fleece. The game just automatically takes it off if you have it on. So we're gonna take him out real quick. And we can move during this cutscene. Lamau. But he goes underground, he breaks the ground below us. And we fall into the true arena, the 7th circle of hell, as I like to call it, as we meet the true form of the one who waits. And he crucifies all of our followers. These followers will be helpful because they'll give us special little gifts if we get near them. But his 3 eyeballs come out, which is kind of weird, kind of like a doll. And this is where the sword will definitely come in handy. It's our job to just attack the eyeballs. The order doesn't super matter because before dying, all of them will go underground, with the exception of one, which is the last one that we hit. So here we're gonna take out you. Alright, so take out you. Probably could have passed that faster, but one. Alright, there's one eyeball down. And then our followers will spawn out a bunch of fervor, which is helpful because, we have this. That bullet hell, not too bad to dodge, but definitely a bit difficult. And then we'll go to attack the second eyeball, which we shouldn't be too bad because we still have we've just lost a single heart health. I'm gonna collect that further so we can actually use our curse. It's not too useful there, but especially considering we can just dodge everything. Ow. Okay, we're not dodging everything. We're going to swap targets for now. Alright, there we go. There we go. Perfect. Now we just have to dodge the fireballs here. Alright, there we go. Our followers haven't spawned any further. Okay, there we go. Alright, the last eye will be destroyed after this cycle of attacks. I'm gonna roll out, roll back in. Ow. Okay, we only have one heart left. I'm gonna play it a bit safe. Alright, goes back underground. Collect some more fervor and use our curses to defeat the last eye, which makes the one who waits very angry. So, he comes in the arena and then instantly gets destroyed. It makes him vulnerable, actually. It doesn't make him angry. But with the one who waits defeated, he is actually just a little guy. He's a little guy. And so, we're going to spare him, because if we spare the one who waits, he will give us a little, he'll give us a new follower. And, with that, that is the Cult of the Lamb, and time will be whenever we enter back on into the cult. So, in 3, 2, 1, time. There we go. Time will be whenever that text shows up, because that's when the time starts. Well, no, for some reason. Auto-splitter funny. But, with that out of the way, we PB'd. Epic. That run was okay. Had some pretty good luck. We're just 10 minutes away from the world record, which is epic. But hopefully that gives you an idea of what I want to do for a commentary. Hopefully my microphone was actually audible. Here I'm gonna insert my shoutouts. You guys can do yours during the walk into the one who waits. Because we'll totally have enough time, I think. A lot of my commentary is play-by-play stuff, so obviously it'll be different during the run, because I want to give you guys time to talk as well. And we're gonna name him. There we go. PP. During the run, I'm gonna name him like, thanks GDQ. Lol. Anyways, yeah, that's gonna be it. I'm going to go to the main menu, show that my patch is 1.0.11, and that's it. Smiley face. Okay, yeah, thanks for watching. This was a PB, so it's gonna be public, but also, feel free to add stuff to the comms guideline. Smiley face. Anyways, thanks for watching, gamers.